have another Viper 6 alert day in effect for Friday. It will be a very windy day, gusts up to 45 miles per hour. Also, the chance of some strong to severe thunderstorms. All those details coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 11, local middle schoolers are getting a head start on financial literacy. We'll have a look at the new Discovery Center. Also ahead, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp announced his priorities for the Peach State in 2024. We'll take you to the State of the State address. And a new medical facility is coming to North Augusta. We'll have a preview as your news at 11 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 11.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Coverage you can count on begins with a new Junior Achievement of Georgia Center opening up for students right here in the CSRA. Nikita Dennis joins us live with more.
Yeah, this JA Discovery Center is for middle schoolers from both Richmond and Columbia counties, offering them hands-on experience in financial literacy.
Junior Achievement Discovery Center has been in the works for about the last 2 years. It's an opportunity to provide exposure for our 6th and 7th grade students.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Educators and city officials cut the ribbon at the new Junior Achievement Discovery Center Thursday. It will allow students to take a deep dive into the real world and get a first look at the housing market.
We need to expose them to financial literacy, personal finance, get them to understand how to thrive in an economy, understand currency, money, how to pay bills, how to invest, how to save.
The Discovery Center is full of simulated businesses, including restaurants, local hospitals, colleges, and even a Delta airline, teaching kids how to spend money the right way.
Advertisements on a little board trying to get me to come buy their products.
As you see, there's many businesses that are represented throughout the region. Some are local, some are national. Just to how commerce works, not only in this area, but across the country. How you procure goods and services, how you sell goods and services.
It also teaches them entrepreneurship.
You look at all these wonderful sponsors that are going to be teaching our children financial stewardship, how to balance a checkbook, partnerships, how to earn a good wage, and how to balance your budget. So this is just unbelievable. Teaching our kids life skills.
In Evans, and they're also looking for volunteers to help. Back to you, Jeannie.
All right, thank you, Nikita. It's time now for a first check of the forecast. Let's turn to meteorologist Jenna Petracci.
It's a cold and dry night. Here's a live look in at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over at Washington Road. Not much going on this evening. You don't have to worry about any rain either when headed out the door tomorrow. Today we had no rain. We had also a cool temperature, 58 degrees this afternoon. Started out in the upper 20s, well below freezing. Temperatures right now are in the mid 30s to upper 30s, 36 here in Augusta, 37 in Barnwell, 42 in McCormick, 39 in Louisville. So still seeing a little bit of low 40s, 40 in Edgefield, 41 in Crawfordville. Skies are mostly clear and winds are very, very light. Huge change of pace from what we had a couple days ago. Right at 0 miles per hour in Augusta, Aiken, over into Gibson. Satellite and radar showing all the clouds pushing off towards our southeast for now. As we go into the overnight hours, we will see more clouds moving in, though, ahead of our next system. Right now, there's a warm front bringing a lot of activity across the state of Arkansas. Also, a cold front that's pretty dry for now, but that'll also bring some storms starting tomorrow. So for us, we have a wind advisory starting at 4 p.m. on Friday. That continues overnight into Saturday morning. Winds will be gusting up to 45 miles per hour, and that's outside of any thunderstorms. So if we do have severe storms develop, those wind gusts will be even higher, up to around 60 miles per hour. On top of that, we have a low threat of tornadoes and hail, but our main concern is definitely going to be the winds tomorrow. Starting out very light, though, in the morning, partly cloudy with the cold temperatures. You may not think anything is happening in the morning, but as we go into the afternoon, that's when those winds will really start to pick up. We'll also see some rain and storms, but it'll clear out quickly. It'll be a dry and sunny weekend. Next week, mostly sunny and dry as well, but also much, much colder. All those details coming up, but back to you, Jenny.
All right, we appreciate it, Jenna. Thank you. Augusta leaders will have an consider. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp outlining his key budget priorities at the state capitol in the annual State of the State address. Archit Seshadri was there.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp wants to give a $3,000 pay hike for state troopers.
As long as I'm your governor, there will be no gray area or political double talk. We will support our law enforcement officers. We will support our firefighters and our first responders, and the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center needs to be built, period.
Another push is to lower the state income tax rate, where Georgia taxpayers would save around $3 billion over the next decade due to a budget surplus. He's also budgeted more than $200 million for mental health, which would help increase the number of crisis beds. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp also highlighting the issues of education in the state. He's promised a $2,500 pay increase for teachers in the state, saying that teachers are severely underpaid. That brings it to $9,500 since he's taken office.
This will build on the historic raises we've provided for educators over recent years, and will increase every state worker's pay by 4%. My proposal also rewards those who gave decades of their lives and careers to serving others by allocating $500 million to shore up our state retiree fund.
To keep up with the state's economic growth, the governor is allocating $1.5 billion for transportation projects to help move commuters and freight across the state. There's also $85 million budgeted for rural workforce housing. Reporting in Atlanta, Archit Seshadri, Atlanta Bureau Chief.
A major announcement for the city of North Augusta. The former MedAg building will soon have a new purpose. The North Augusta Ford Executive Committee has been working on a plan for the building to revamp the downtown area. In a partnership with Palmetto Peach Development, the building will soon be the new home of Augusta Oncology's multi-specialty clinic. City leaders say this has been in the works for some time.
That used to be the skating ring when I was a child, and we lived right up the street, so we'd walk down to the skating room. But more than that, I was just looking at coming down, the building itself is beautiful, and that's just going to be such an asset to our downtown. That has been one of our dreams here on City Council.
A formal announcement will be made tomorrow at 2 p.m. from the MedAg building. Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evett and State Senator Tom Young will be there. Augusta Prep held a ribbon cutting for the W. Roger Giles Institute of Inquiry today. The 20,000 square foot facility will help students at Augusta Prep sharpen their STEM skills and more to get them ready for college.
The new building has a bunch of new features like the VR room. It's going to be really helpful for my anatomy class. We're going to be able to look in depth into even like the heart or the brain or the cell, a nerve, whatever.
It's one of a kind because we've got all the disciplines you would think about, the traditional sciences, right? Biology, chemistry, physics in this building. And then more technological sciences that we've all seen mature since we were in high school.
It just gives us a different perspective and kind of prepares us for how college is actually going to be like. I feel like the building's very similar to how like a college campus science building would look like.
The classes of 1989, 2014, and 2020 were honored for their contributions at the ceremony as well. Coming up, we will check back in with Jennifer Tracci for the full forecast, and the Palmetto State passed a bill to allow alcohol to be delivered to your door. We'll tell you about it when coverage you can count on continues.
Get a leg and thigh dinner with Fixin' from Bojangles for just $5.99. It's bow time.
The Live 5/6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live 5/6.
Welcome back. I want to start out by pointing out these nationwide temperatures because they are pretty extreme. All the way up north, we're seeing -6 degrees in Bismarck. And then look at this rainbow, this tight gradient here where we see some very opposite temperatures on the other side. 70s down in southern Texas. And for our neck of the woods, we're in the mid-30s, but nowhere near that -6 all the way up there towards the northwest. So mid-30s through low 40s for us tonight. 41 in Crawfordville, 42 in Washington, Aiken at 37, 38 down in Bamberg. It's a nice dry night, no rain to worry about over the next 12 hours or so. Here's a live look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside the station. Sitting at 36 here in town, dew point at 34. Still some very dry air in place with not even much cloud cover for now. As we go into the overnight hours, we will start to see an increase in clouds ahead of this next system. This has produced a warm front with a lot of scattered storms across the state of Arkansas, and this will all translate towards the East Coast, bringing us some impacts tomorrow, with the biggest threat being the winds. We have a wind advisory for the majority of us starting at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and that lasts overnight into Saturday morning. So remember how some of us woke up to those howling winds overnight into Wednesday? Well, it's sort of a similar situation. I'm not expecting those winds to be as high, but still could be gusting up to 45 miles per hour. So those winds could cause some damage, and on top of that, we have the threat of severe weather. So if we do have severe storms form, the winds in those will be even higher, up to 60 miles per hour. Starting out the day calm though, 37 degrees, starting to see some light rain around the 10 o'clock hour, and then that transitions to some thunderstorms once we start to warm up into the 60s. But here's 6 a.m. on Friday morning. That system well to the west of us still, but look how quickly it starts to move in. The warm front lifts through around 1 o'clock, and this is the area of concern here. This is the warm sector where there's the most instability, and that's what we'll be in by the afternoon. So then by the time the cold front comes through, that could produce some strong storms, and then we'll have clearing skies behind it, but still very windy. Here's a closer look at home, 10 a.m. on Friday. Notice a few of those light showers popping up, and it's going to be these cells here where we see the red, where we'll have to watch for those to become severe. And all types of severe weather are possible here: hail, tornadoes, the damaging wind gusts. But the threat is pretty low, so definitely going to be windy though. You can see those wind barbs very, very high. Areas of heavy rain as well. And then there's the cold front, not nearly as impressive as what we had the other day, but still something we'll be watching. Our dew points will start out very low in the morning, and then they'll quickly rise into the 50s, and then eventually the 60s start to creep in. So that'll be enough moisture to produce some of those storms along with the warmer temperatures. But you can see how quickly they drop back down into the upper 30s to low 40s. Our rainfall totals will be really pretty low. I'm not concerned about flooding tomorrow, only up to around half an inch. It's going to really be the winds. I can't emphasize that enough. In the morning will be breezy, but it really won't be until the afternoon where they really start to pick up the pace, and that's when that wind advisory goes into effect, and they'll still be coming in pretty strong from the southwest all the way overnight. So main threat is definitely the winds, low threat of everything else. Now next week, not as much rain in the forecast, but we will have the cold Arctic blast coming in, affecting all of us in the United States. Our highs will only be in the 40s, lows in the low 20s. So enjoy this while it lasts. This is actually much warmer than that. 35 in Augusta, near average tonight. Highs tomorrow will be warmer in the mid-60s. And our 10-day forecast showing the cool down over the weekend. But then the big, big cool down comes next week. That's when we'll be in the 40s, and we'll see a few more showers on Tuesday of next week. The rest of the week, nice and sunny and dry.
And bundle up.
Yes, and it doesn't look like it's changing anytime soon, Jenny.
All right. Well, it is January.
Yep.
Thanks so much, Jenna. New legislation could soon make it easier to have beer and wine delivered right to your home. The bill would allow the delivery of beer and wine through delivery apps like DoorDash and Uber Eats. Leaders with DoorDash have developed standards to ensure they can provide these services safely and only to people of legal drinking age. They also say it could help small businesses.
Through internal data, we can actually show that small independent liquor stores increased sales by 180% in month 6 as compared to month 1. That just goes to show you how much the service is actually being used in those states that do allow third-party delivery. Liquor stores as a whole saw a 295% increase in sales just in the last year on our platform.
The bill did pass in the House General Laws Subcommittee and will move forward in the full House Judiciary Committee. Up next, the government shutdown is looming again. How the House plans to keep the government running when we come back. First, though, let's take a look at the winning numbers in tonight's South Carolina lottery. Pick 3, 619. And your pick 4 winning numbers tonight, 4141, Fireball 8.
Do you suffer? Hey there, I'm Anna Christina. This week, our new furniture sponsor, Jimmy's Home Furnishings, is here to help us reveal the new set, followed by Dr. Bree Brown to chat skincare, Busby's Heating and Air, and Carissa Jones with Simply Delish. It's happening this Friday at 12:30.
The live Viper 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Weather headlines on News Channel 6, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Attorneys.
Next week, parts of the federal government will run out of money unless Congress can get its act together. Anna Warnicki is in Washington now with more.
It's deja vu all over again in the House.
The resolution is not adopted.
On Wednesday, 13 House Republicans broke rank to reject the spending deal House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer agreed on.
I don't understand what their endgame is here.
The Republicans who voted against the deal say the $1.59 trillion top-line spending limit is too high. But Michigan Republican Bill Huizenga criticized the move and says it now puts Congress on track for a partial government shutdown next Friday.
Shutting down the government, whether it's over the border or whether it's over some other issues, is not the right tactical thing to do.
Ohio Republican Dave Joyce says the only way Congress can avoid a shutdown is by passing another short-term spending bill.
We have a job to do, and the job is to keep American government open.
Joyce says a short-term bill will keep the government running through March and give Republicans time to work through their differences and come up with a deal all sides can agree on.
A government shutdown would be a recipe for chaos.
On Thursday, Schumer filed a temporary extension of government funding, but made it clear that Democrats won't concede to the demands of hardline Republicans in the House.
The only tactic in their playbook is to try and bully the rest of Congress and the country to bend to their extremist views.
Parts of the government are set to run out of funding at midnight on January 19th. In Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki.
Coming up, Border Bowl 11 is almost here, and Team South Carolina was hard at work getting in their final practices before Saturday. Kira Goldstein's up next with sports.
And full of life.
So, you got your tax forms, and now you wait for your refund, right? Wrong. Don't wait to get your money. Get your money now with a fast cash advance from the local experts at Rhodes Murphy. Get up to $7,000. It's fast with same-day approval. Take the stress out of taxes and get your money now. Visit one of our 13 locations across the CSRA or RhodesMurphy.com. Rhodes Murphy, your local tax experts.
With rent and expense.
Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
Border Bowl is almost here, folks. We are less than 2 days away from the game of the year, taking place between Team Georgia and Team South Carolina. Both teams have been very hard at work preparing for Saturday's game, and Team South Carolina is arguably the team with more on the line. South Carolina won 4 consecutive Border Bowls before the 2020 game. Border Bowl 8 was canceled due to COVID. Since then, Georgia has earned back-to-back shutout victories over South Carolina, but head coach Brian Smith says his team has been committed to the process, and he's extra grateful to his coaching staff for helping him put together a very impressive Team South Carolina.
Our coaching staff's a great group. I've got 4 former players of mine, 2 former assistant coaches of mine, and then a couple other guys who are good friends of mine and been friends a long time. So we're a tight-knit bunch, and we're excited. We got a good time together as a bunch of coaches, and as we said, we're going to have a fun week no matter what happens. But it's great to get everybody's guys. They're happy to be out on the field a little bit and moving around and playing football again. Some of them, thought they'd play their last game, and this may be their last game, and others are still looking for that shot. So we're just glad to give an opportunity for all of them.
That shot has been known to come to players in this game, with some even earning scholarships to play football at the next level based on their performance in Border Bowl.
We joke about here, Bolin Smith, OC over at South Egg, and he's our offensive coordinator this week, and he got a scholarship for this ball game. And when he played in South Egg, he played quarterback, and so he's one of those guys that just kind of came out there and balled out one night and had the opportunity to go in college and play. So we're just excited about the opportunity. Again, this is a chance to play football. If you love the game, it's a chance for you to play.
And if you love the game, it is also a chance for you to watch. It will be here in the blink of an eye, So for any of you who plan on attending, here are some important things to note. The gates at Burke County will open at 11:30 a.m. and kickoff is at 1 p.m. Tickets are $10 if you buy them at WJBF.com and $15 at the door. And parking will be $5 cash only, so make sure to get there early and with cash to ensure a great parking spot. We can't wait to see you all there. And finally, the top-ranked Gamecocks visited Mizzou as they continued SEC play. Down by 1, here's Bree Hall with the 3 as she gives South Carolina their first lead of the game. Then in the second, SC up by 3. Tahina Paopao collects the rebound and heaves it down court to Camila Cardoso, who lays it in for 2. Gamecocks would take a 13-point lead into halftime. Third quarter, Johnson swings it up top to Bree Hall, who drains it, giving her a career-high 21 points on the night. Shooting was really working for SC with 5 Gamecocks scoring in double figures. And then in the fourth, Tahina Paopao drains a 3 to put the game away. The Gamecocks start the season 15-0 as they get the win over Mizzou 81-57. That does it for sports.
Hey, Georgia, go Bang.
Finally, tonight, this June, will mark 16 years since the death of comedy icon George Carlin. But his stand-up style is being brought back by artificial intelligence. A comedy AI called Dudesy has released an hour-long special on YouTube called George Carlin, I'm Glad I'm Dead. The AI program was fed all of Carlin's previous material, and it came up with its own show. Carlin's daughter, Kelly, is not supporting the project, saying no machine will ever replace her father's genius.
Amen.
That's
Love
true.
George Carlin.
It's really cool, but yeah, I mean, kind of weird for the family members.
Yeah.
Very,
Very weird.
Well, for forecast, we will have a Viper 6 alert day tomorrow. Windy with the chance of strong to severe storms. Drying out quickly, though. The weekend will be beautiful, will be cool. A few showers early next week, and all next week very cold, going down to 20 degrees.
Ooh, burr. That's the report from everybody. We do thank you for watching. Good morning, Augusta. We'll be up at 4:30. Have a good night.
If you've been arrested for a DUI in Georgia, you may only have 30 days to protect your license or your privilege to drive here. Hi, I'm Tiffany Duncan of DUI Duncan, the DUI firm here in Augusta. Visit our website at DUIDuncan.com to see what we've done to help so many drivers. If you've been arrested for a DUI in Georgia, call me now for a free consultation. While the firm, of course, cannot guarantee results, we do guarantee hard work and fast action.
Remember the name, DUI Duncan.